Here we go. What's going on, everybody? Hey, LDA is here. What's going on? How y'all doing? I sent the link to Giano. He should be up in a moment. And he might have been trying to get his reading. So let's get going. How y'all doing out there? How you feeling? Changed up. Camera got a better shot now. Had to do something. I'm going to have another tweak in tomorrow. Should be another tweak on this. What's going on, my good people? What's going on? Salute King. What's going on? Salute the Greek surgeon. What's going? Peace to the gods. All right. Salute King. What's going on, Asia? What's going on, Tisha? What's going on, everybody? If you here, we about to get your crayons, get your everything out. We about to hit it hard. And once John will come in, I just send him a message. Hopefully, he come up in. And we can get going. Hit the like button when you come in. We're going to hit it hard. This is a master's class. I don't hear that this is you're getting a midday master class. First, hey guys, how you like this camera shot? This is better. It should be crystal clear now. Better. I had a camera here all the time and I wasn't using it. So now I'm using it now. But let's get it going today. Master class. Man, why are you out of your solar system? Why are you out of your solar system? Thank you. Thank you. Why are you out of your solar system? Whoa, 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 whoa. We have to explain some things about this. I'm waiting for Jono to come up right now. And it's much better. So the camera shot looks better. It's crystal clear versus yesterday. That's what I want to see. You hear everybody here? Okay. I'm here for the deep. Yes. All right. I'm waiting for Jono to come up, but I'm going to start it because I want to make sure we maximize this time right here. And also hit the like button. Hit the like button and let me explain something about some consultations. You want to talk. This platform that we do here on YouTube is completely free. But to talk to me, there is a price to talk to me. You have to answer some questions. Then you have to be approved. And you may not be approved to talk to me. It's just the way it's set up. And then there's a cost to talk to me, and you only get to talk for so long, and because it's precise and on the money. Camera looks much better. It's real clear. That's what I'm talking about. What I did was trying to see what was better, my iPad, my regular camera, or I had a webcam that's actually been sitting there. Is actually HD 1080p. So it's definitely a difference in shot, and I knew it had to be clear. So yes, so there I want you to know to talk to me. There's a price. You go to the LDA lifestyle, and you got to go through the process. It's not for the weak. I don't have time to play games, as you already know. Okay, he just chimed in. Let me see what he said. Oh, he said he's coming the store now. He's in the long line. But let's get going. Looking forward to the talk to kick off this year. Yes, we definitely want to talk. And get going. So please understand, get the likes up where we're going. What's going on, my good people? I just left Alfie Kingdom show and with Trav Terrell. So definitely. So the first thing you must understand, he's in the line. So we're gonna wait for him to pop up. Once he pop up, we can get going. So the first thing you must understand, man, why are you out of your solar system? Solar system goes around and around. It's your ecosystem that goes around. Man, why are you out of your solar system? Hope I'm a little bit crystal clear. Tomorrow going to be even clearer because I'm going to have a lapel mic. So everything is coming full circle. So I want you to understand this. Why are you out of your solar system? Please understand the game that I'm about to give you. Get ready. So what happens is this. 2016 equals 2 new life coaches everywhere. Yeah, everybody want to be a life coach. But I don't set up like everybody else. So please understand, you just can't. There's no just talking to me. Okay. So let's get to him. So man, why are you out of your solar system? Your solar system means the way you orbit through life. What's going on? The way you orbit through life. Why are you out of your solar system? The first thing that you must understand is why you're out of your solar system, because you don't know your positioning in the solar system. Yeah. You don't know you don't know your position. You don't know who you are in regards to the solar system. You don't know what your position is in the solar system. And I talked about it a little bit yesterday, but I want to get it a little clearer today. This is what the problem is. You, my man, don't realize that you are the S-O-N, sun. Sun. You are the sun, not S-O-N, but yet you are the sun. Your job is to what? Your job, that's a good point. I like that. Solar system. Got that. I like that. Your job is, your solar system is the way you orbit in life. So you are the sun. You are a sun, S-O-N. Because you are a sun, you radiate life. You are a sun. The sun is in essence just a star. Is just a star. But what happens is we have men who are out of their solar system because they don't realize that they are a star or a sun. So the next level is the woman is the moon. What does the moon do? The moon reflects what comes from the star or the sun. What happens is you have to realize when you listen to the things I've been teaching all this week, all these past week, that you realize that why are you out of your solar systems? Because the way you are positioned in life, that's it. You are the sun. Sun in essence is just a star, right? So what happens is because you are the S-O-N, and she is the moon. Two different positionings in the solar system of your life or everything around you. And what happens is we don't realize that we reflect to the woman to affect the earth. Our goal is to reflect to the woman, and she in turn reflects and controls the waves of the earth. Please understand what I'm saying to you. So if you don't know that you are the sun and you think that you are a moon, you are out of position. And too many men have been moons in women's life and wondering why it's not working. Yeah, this is not for the average guy. This is master level class. The woman is the moon. The moon is the reflection of the sun, right? So you got to understand what I'm saying to you. What happens is we have a lot of men who are orbiting a woman because they have been told by society that they are the moon. So they move like a woman and they follow Mother Nature. They follow Mother Nature. And because they follow Mother Nature, they are out of position. So we have a lot of men who are out of position because they think they are the moon. You are not the moon, brother. You are the sun. And because you have been tricked by society, this is a problem for you because you're constantly reflecting what the woman has said to you. And it puts you in the nature to influence like a woman and not like a man. A man, when you put the sun on something, it will burn a hole in the ground. But when you put the moon on something, it can only reflect what was there. Let me read. You really say that's good. Some of us were told we were nothing. That's life, though. Yeah, right. We always told that we got good sons. Right. They're trying to remind you who you are. So this is the other dynamics. I'm trying to hit it hard before John, because when John will come in, we're going to take it to another level. This is Another problem. Society has intrinsically told women that they are sons. They had told women that they are sons. What happens if you have two suns orbiting in the same area? What happens when you have two suns orbiting in the same area? You're going to burn something up and you're not going to have life on earth. You're not going to create. So a lot of women have been tricked into believing that they are sons. And what happens is when they get in orbit with another man, there is a problem. The problem is this. You begin to burn each other up. So you realize that think about it. If you're a son and she operates as a son, where's the life on earth? It's burnt up. So that's what happens in a lot of relationship, is burnt up, and there's no life. There's nothing being reproduced because she's trying to be a son when she was only called to not a lesser position, but a position that's different, where she reflects what you have. She only reflects who you are. And that is the problem right there. That is the problem right there. Let me get back. I'm waiting for Jono to come up. So you got to realize, men have been trying to be moons and women are trying to be suns, and was never designed that way, because actually they work in harmony. The sun reflects onto the moon. The moon reflects on the earth, and controls the waves, and controls the nature or the weather, what goes on there. She's called to influence. She is called to influence. And the problem is, men are trying to be moons and they're wondering why it's not working. Let's go a little deeper, because you got to go back and listen to this one. So if she thinks she's a sun, then what happens is we have men who now become her moon. Beta male orbiters. Men who try to placate to the woman because he's trying to get heat from her, not knowing that in essence he is not a moon, he is a sun. So you have men who orbit women in the hopes of of getting heat and being able to reflect something in their life, or their possibility of procreating with her. See how all this is out of order, out of sync? When this is out of sync, what happens is it causes the earth No, it's no problem. So what happens, it causes the earth to function and have storms and hurricanes and things to go crazy, because she is out of place and he is out of place. The only way this can be fixed is when the man comes back out of orbiting a woman and begin to get back into his position as the sun. When he gets in the position as the sun. The problem is everyone wants to change positions and everyone wants to be equal. It cannot be that way. And what happens is it would never be fixed until it becomes fixed in you, the man, and then you begin to reflect back to the woman who you are. So the question you must ask is this. What reflection is she carrying inside of her because she's a moon? Many times you're looking at the reflection of a woman from another man has been her son. So the things that she do, the way she carry herself, the way she thinks, the way she performs in the bedroom is from another son and not yours. The way she responds and do is because there was a son or a lack of the son. So it affects the earth where you live at. I know I'm going deep. I told you bring your scuba gear. Hope you got your moon boots on. Lift off. We're already there. So many times you got to go back and listen to what I'm saying. Many times when you see the woman, the moon, you're seeing remnants of someone else's son being shown to you. Was it a good son or was it a bad son? Was it a good son or was it a bad son? And so the son gets upset. Some sons get upset at the moon because all she's doing is reflecting back to you either your son or someone else's son. So there becomes a conflict in the light. It becomes a conflict in the light. And when there's a conflict in the light, what happens is only one light can what? Only one light can survive. So many times you see the remnant of what? Someone else's son. You will hope it be a good father, a good brother, or someone that actually gives or shares with her the right way. So you have a conflict of light. And what happens is it calls something to go inside of the woman where she's fighting this light inside of her. And she don't even know that she's fighting. And that conflict is her emotions, Mother Nature. And you wonder why it storms around you, your earth. It's because the conflict that's tied up inside of her, because she has opposing light coming together, causing storms in your earth, your dealings with her. And so what happens is you must adjust and realize that you are the son. Now, what happens when the woman is the son? I'm gonna ask you guys a good question. If a relationship goes to her being the son, can it ever be reversed, or do you cut the loose and accept the destruction that exists? This is the thing. Good question. So what happens is this. If she's in the place of the son and you are in the place of the son, two things are going to have to happen. Either she's going to have to this is the thing. We're talking metaphorically, so I want you to get this. She's going to have to realize that you are the son, and she's going to have to revert back into the moon. If she does not want to reflect what you're giving her, you have to kick her out of your orbit. You have to let her go. Because what happens is it's going to destroy your earth. One way or another, there will be storms, conflicts, there will be waves, there will be tsunamis. Why? Because you cannot have two suns. Two suns will cause a black hole. And ultimately, the death of that solar system. So you have to recognize when a woman is in the right position. Many times they have never been taught that they are the reflect. See, we think that the reflection is a bad thing. No, woman, reflection is not the bad thing. The thing is this. You have to have the ability to control the earth, to influence the earth. Let me say it that way. So you ever notice, give an example so to bring it a little bit home. Once the sun, man, reflects on how the house is going to be, the woman, the moon begins to reflect inside of the home, and the atmosphere in the home begins to change. It begins to feel homely. It begins to feel like someone lives there because that's her subtle power that she has. The problem is that we have in this culture produce what? Women to compete with the sun. So that's the problem. Just like a woman mirroring you. So the problem is this. Many, back to what we're saying. I'm waiting for John to come on. He's getting here. So the problem is this. I'm talking to you. Do you know who you really are? Do you know your positioning? Why are you orbiting women when you were called to be the sun, the star? If you ever look in life, women instinctively look for something they can look up to. The sun. They never want to look down to anything because that's where they influence. That's where they what? Influence. She's always looking up what? Towards the sun. Just go a little bit further. So let's go a little bit further. So since that, he, if not careful, can burn up the earth. And so he needs the moon. Why? He needs the moon to effectively position the earth so it produces life. See, that's what they're not telling you. He needs the moon so she can reflect and cause life to grow in your earth. The problem is many suns are reflecting crap. Many suns are shooting light that is crippling. Suns are sending out stuff and they're wondering why their earth is jacked up. What are you reflecting to that moon? What are you reflecting to that moon? What are you reflecting to that moon? Because all she's going to do is show you in your earth what's growing and what's not. If you're wondering why there's hurricanes and tsunamis in your earth, check the sun that's reflecting to the moon. If you're wondering why there's issues you have with women, check the sun that's reflecting to the moon. That's what? Causing problems in your earth. She is designed to be what? A reflector of you and nothing less. Once you realize that, you will begin to now make sure that your what? Solar system has the correct moon in place. You will make sure that you get the correct what? Moon who can reflect the right sun to your earth. The problem is, and I'm repeating this again for those in the back of the room, everyone's out of position. And when you out of position, it throws the solar system off out of place, but it messes with your earth. That is why a lot of people are where they are, because their earth is messed up, because they don't realize they're the sun and she's not in her place. If this is making sense to you, let me know in the chat room. Still waiting for John to come up. If this is making sense to you, let me know in the chat room. See, the issue is this. The issue is this. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. So you want to realize is this. Uh-oh, now we about to get going. He's in the car. Let me put it on this. So in recap, I said, John, that a lot of men are out of their solar system because they don't realize that they're stars or that they're their sun. Then the other thing I said was a lot of women are trying to be suns. And when you have two suns together, it causes a black hole and destroys the whole solar system and cripples what? The earth, burns up the earth. And I said, recapping too, that what happens too, we have a lot of men who look at women as suns and they become reflections of her and they become moons to a woman. So they're constantly reflecting what she is and not who he is because he doesn't know who he is.
Yeah, I hear that. I mean, sounds. Can you hear me okay?
Hear you clear, loud and clear.
Yeah, I think that a lot of times people, you know, we talked about position in other calls, but if you think about it, you know, when you relate it to, you know, how it is in your universe, like it's even more important because if you don't know how to identify the proper objects, you know, we won't get the right connection we need to have to who we're supposed to be next to. You know, a lot of times we don't, you know, you represent the earth, basically. We represent earth. And if you don't know that another person in your life is, you know, they're actually living congruent to you, then you'll miss it. You know, some people think that they need to be, you know, they need to have somebody revolve around you like a moon. And that's just not the case. You know, they have their own world. And you guys are moving congruent in the universe. And how you relate to each other, you have to have the proper distance, not too far, not too close, to make sure that, you know, there is an alignment that has a synergy that works.
Yeah, and that's very true. So there has to be proper distance between the sun and the moon in order for the moon to effectively what? Reflect on the earth and cause Mother Nature to do what it needs to do. And what happens is if you're too close, the sun will either burn up the moon or it will cause, if the sun is too far from the moon, it actually will cause it to grow completely cold. Hence, why women need your attention, your masculine attention, man, because you are a sun. You need to heat up her moon. You need to heat up her moon so that she can reflect onto your earth or the earth. And so what happens is, if you don't know her position in your life, what's going to happen is you're going to cause the death of a solar system, and you will in turn cause a black hole.
It's true.
And so
you have to, I mean, people, I mean, I want to make sure your audience kind of gets it because, you know, when you have, you know, everything is relative. Okay, there are cells in the body, and they have a nucleus, you know, positive, negative reaction, and basically those shapes are synonymous with our connection with the solar system, with the galaxy, with the universe. There's no mistake why these things have the same shape, because our metabolic makeup, which is basically carbon, is synonymous with all three types of shapes. Okay, you know, they know, they have already, you know, concluded many thousands of years that if there's carbon on the universe, then that's where life starts from, carbon. And we know that the metabolic makeup that we have is based on these shapes, and these shapes actually look like each other. Okay, your moon is synonymous with the shapes of the cells and the shapes of and actually when you see different galaxies colliding with each other, which is definitely possible, when the whole Big Bang theory is the same idea of mitosis. Okay, when mitosis occurs, cells split and break up, and they form many pieces. It's synonymous with almost like the Big Bang, the way all the planets were created, all those stars, all those galaxies created from a one central singular point. And we have to understand our connection with that is very important. If you understand your connection with that, then you understand your position in the universe.
That is very powerful. That leads me to my next thought we talked about yesterday. We just passed Christmas, and in Christmas, they talk about that the three wise men got to the baby in the manger by following a star. They got to the baby in the manger by following a star. What if that star was not in position? And what if that moon was not there? Would they have ever found that baby?
Yeah, it's true. It's a navigation tool. You know, the difference that you have in the planets, the difference that you have in the people in your life, these are all stop points or waypoints that you would see in a navigation system so you can find your way. And a lot of people don't realize that, you know, finding your way is more important than, you know, traveling without a map.
Mm.
And that's the thing is we get lost because we don't understand our position on the map.
Mm. So you need positioning as the star. I'm talking to you, men, to realize sometimes if you don't know your positioning, you will never lead to the Savior, the thing that can actually redeem your earth. So you got to understand your position as a man, that sure, you are a star, light, you are a sun. And when you do that, your earth can be saved, if you believe in that scenario, from calamity. So what happens is, if you don't know your positioning, you are leading your earth astray.
Remember the sun, or whatever sun in whatever solar system there is. Remember, the sun has the influence, it's the energy. And what happens is, depending on the distance you are from that sun, depends on how the interplanetary objects, like in our solar system, the Earth, you have Mercury first. It can't sustain life because it's too close to the star's influence hurts it. Venus, same problem, but they believe that years ago Venus was just like Earth. And what happens is Earth was probably in its position where it was in its very, you know, infantile state. And then they also believed that Mars had life at some point. So that distance had influence on the sun to actually create life and actually sustain life at some point, and then it died out. So if you look at it, you got to look at like the steps in your life. Certain people in your life come into your life for a reason, and then they leave for a reason, and then they're no longer necessary. Did you find a way to figure out who's supposed to be there and who's not at that point in your life? You know what I'm saying? Do you have a Mercury in your life that's not supposed to be there, but it's still tagging along? Do you have a Mars in your life that may have been really close to you, but you still give them so much, you know, energy that it takes away from your Earth?
Mm. So who's in your orbit that you need to release out of your orbit, because they're affecting your Earth and its growth. And also, if there's orbiting that close, it can also affect what? If, how can I say it? It affects the moon and what it reflects because it's so close to your in your galaxy. And no, well, not your galaxy, inside of your solar system. In so many words. So you have to be careful. And you guys are there. It's like the chat when we're completely quiet. Let me know y'all getting this. Let me know you're there because this is master level. Things you hear now, you're not going to hear anywhere. And this is master level. So you need to let me know. We're here. We hear what you're saying. I got you. I understand why things ain't working. So it's very important that certain planets orbit inside of your solar system for a season, and then they have to exit out.
Yeah. See, we've only known the solar system in the time frame that we've always had it. And you understand the time frame of the universe is totally different than the time frame on Earth. On Earth, we think about days, weeks, months, years. You gotta understand there's millennia. Millennia is like a minute fraction in the universe. So, we travel in 2,000 years, say 2 millennia, we could travel across a whole galaxy. And that's not even a minute fraction of the space the universe sits in. And you have to also, it's like the measurement in space is like light years. You have to travel way beyond what you would believe time in order to get to a different solar system in that situation. So what I'm trying to get to the point of is that you have to change in some spaces the level of your increment of measurement for you to understand someone else. Okay, if their sun is far enough away from you, what you have to realize is that they have an opportunity to interact with you if you understand the measurement of getting to them. But if you stay on just Earth increments, you're not going to get it. You're just not going to get it.
Good point. Good point. So many times, too many of you got to realize that you have an Earth suit, but you can't be. You have an Earth suit, but you got to be. You can't be Earth bound. There needs to be. There must be a marriage of the two together. And so what happens is if your mind don't realize who's orbiting around you, I can't emphasize enough. You need to think about who's orbiting around in your solar system. You need to think about, once again, the moons. I think it's certain planets that have more than one moon, right?
Of course. Yeah. You have Jupiter, and Jupiter has many moons.
You have many moons.
And some of those moons are bigger than Earth.
See? So you need to think about what moons are really orbiting around you. So it's very important what I'm saying here. This master with the solar system, man, realize that you have the power to control your solar system. You have to determine, once again, what moon you're going to have there. You're going to determine how your Earth is going to be, what? Sustained, because the Earth needs your what? Light in order to live. And you wonder why certain things are not living in your world. It's because you're burning it up because of the wrong mindset or not knowing who you are. The moon does not give life. It reflects light. Once you understand that, you understand your positioning. It is not to take away from women or not to take away from the moon. The moon is vitally important when it comes to life on Earth. But if you don't understand the moon's position, you will think you will try to burn the moon up, not knowing that you're messing up your Earth.
Yeah, we confuse a lot of times what the role of these ethereal bodies are. We confuse. We give them way too much attention. You know, the moon's important for, you know, this particular planet, you know, to control the tides because of the gravitational force that it has on the Earth. But, you know, if you just put yourself on more solid ground, it wouldn't have no influence on you.
Mm.
You know, if you lived in Italy right now, you know, they're developing more ways to make sure the city don't flood because of the moon's influence. But if you found a way, I'm not saying to just abandon your country, but you have to understand the moon's influence in this particular state and time is changing the whole geography of a lot of coastal areas. It's also global warming too, but you know, we're not going to get into that right now. But the moon's influence is really where the problem is.
Please understand that we're in a different age now. I think we entered, I forget what day it was, but the moon's influence, if it's not harnessed correctly, can cause destruction on your earth. If the moon, we equate the woman as the moon, if not harnessed correctly, can cause what? Destruction on your earth. Floods, tsunamis, glaciers melting. Why? Because we don't want to go that, like you said, we don't go down our rabbit trail why it's happening, because that's a whole nother rabbit trail. Then we're going to go into whatever. But the point is, she must be in the right positioning so your earth can sustain life. It has to be that way. The problem is no one told you or explained this analogy to you, because when you took this in elementary school, you had to learn the 9 planets? 9 or 10 planets? 9, right? Uh-oh, you there, Jono? But anyway, so you only learned those planets and you did not learn the power of how it relates to you. Once you understand how it relates to you, you can effectively, what we've been teaching these past 3-4 weeks, put this to action. You have to realize, I'm repeating myself because that's how I was taught to teach, is to repeat. You learn by repetition. You, my man, brothers, you are the sun. Stop playing the moon and trying to influence things that you were not designed to influence. But if you look at it another way, sometimes you have to send your moon out there to influence certain things to get things rolling, because the sun will end up burning. Go ahead.
I think what we need to really kind of emphasize is the fact that we have control over these objects. Okay, we have control over these bodies. You're hearing sun, you're hearing earth, you're hearing moon, you're hearing all that stuff. You have the choice to be the player or the character in these particular roles, because if you don't understand how much control you have over it, it will then put you in position of either less control or more control. Okay, you have to tell yourself, okay, I know my position is the sun, so I have to use the most powerful influence in my solar system, in my particular universe, how to influence the other objects. And if you are the moon, you can't do that. You just can't do that. If you were the moon in somebody else's life, what happens is you are pretty much putting them in a position where they have to protect themselves from whatever you would do, whether you were a positive influence or not. You understand? And what happens is you could almost put yourself out there as when the sun has even more influence, and then that planet now has to listen.
And that's a powerful thing. Let me say something, because it dropped on me. Now I talked about if the woman is in the position of a sun and there's two suns, you're in your sun position. What's going to happen is it will burn up. But let me explain something else. Since we have men, we symbolically call them sons. And if another man comes, he is not intimidated by his solar system. See, what happens is many of you guys are comparing your solar system to somebody else's and wondering why it's not working. So you cannot be intimidated by someone else's sun or how bright they shine, or their what happens in their solar system. What your concern should be is your solar system and how it's run. And so what happens is sometimes when two solar systems come together, and I watched it within people's lives, it causes a what? Collision. It's because either someone's intimidated, jealous, or they don't know how to handle someone else and how they deal with their life on their solar system. You know what I mean, John?
Absolutely. I mean, if I mean, we're really targeting on influence here, and I think that that's one of the most important points of this particular conversation. Like, if you know how powerful you are, then you will know that you can have either a positive influence or negative influence on something. And depending on how well you treat that particular influence, will get the result that you're looking for. We have to really pay attention to that type of, connection with people. Your influence is important. You know that what you do makes people either believe or not believe in the next situation they're going to be in. What you do with a person, how you interact with them, will actually shape the way they feel and how they become, whether they need therapy, whether they are, conditioned properly for the next situation. It's because of your influence on them. That makes you responsible for that particular person's interaction with you.
That's good right there, because a lot of times guys don't. I'm going to point the finger. Many times, how you and this point the fingers go back and forth. Many times you don't realize that you're dealing with someone else's son, who's you dealing with someone else's influence that's affecting her moon and it's affecting your earth. The moment you realize that that moon may need therapy to get that sun out of her life so that she can effectively reflect what you're giving her. And so until you understand what is influencing your moon or the moon that you potentially want to be with or want to orbit you or in your solar system. And many times that what's needed is definitely some therapy.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't think that you had an impact, why don't you just look in your past for a little bit? I'm not saying to visit it, to try and recreate it, but just look at the examples that were set in your past. Were the people hurt by you? Were the people influenced by you? Did they have a good experience? Did they have a positive experience? Did they have a negative experience? You could easily tell how and what position you gave people in your life in your past, and then you can actually tell whether you considered them a sun, whether you considered them a moon, whether you considered them an alternate planet on the same gravitational pull. You actually have examples of this in your past. Now, if you use those examples for good, then you'll know how to build on the future. But if you don't, you're going to have a situation where you're going to be doomed to repeat it. Okay?
That's what a lot of people don't realize. They wonder why their earth is not growing because they're in a constant state of repeat. You're in a constant state of repeat because you have not learned the lessons the last time you orbited your earth. And so what happens is the people on your earth and said, why are we here doing this again? It's because you have not learned what? The lesson. Please understand what we're saying.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at, it's If you keep going through the same thing, the universe is constantly putting you in a test mode. People don't stop testing until the test is finished and you pass. When it's time to test a car to be used on the road, they don't stop testing it until it passes the test. It has to pass the test. If it doesn't pass, you don't exit and then move on to the next thing. You have to pass the test. If you keep repeating something in life, you haven't passed. It's so simple.
It's like doing a line dance that just never ends.
It's like if you don't pass the fourth grade, what are they gonna do? They're gonna leave you back.
Mhm.
They're not putting you back in the third grade. They're gonna make you repeat the same grade until you pass.
Hence, why your solar system is not bigger than what it is because you have not learned to pass the test. And many of you, because your solar system is not what it is, you're not even worthy to even have a moon in your
Some of
life.
you don't even have other planets in your solar system. Some of you have nothing. Your influence only influences galaxies far away. Some people don't even have their own planets. Some of them don't have. Do you know why we haven't found life yet? Because first of all, the universe is so big, we can't tell how big it really is. But do you understand that suns in our universe have to have a certain type of measurement to even breathe life into a place like Earth? We are gifted. We're gifted. This stream right now, this technology, us being humans, we're gifted right now. Some planets only get to be ice. Certain planets only get to be dust. Certain planets only get to be gas. We had enough privilege in this universe to become and form this earth. That's a responsibility. Now, when you are handed something precious in your life, do you throw it away? Do you cast it out as garbage? Is it an ice cube that falls on the floor? Is it the exhaust from your car? Is it I'm making very loose analogies here, but you got to understand here. If you get something so precious as to hold an Earth in your solar system, you have to hold that precious. If you are given that kind of level of responsibility, you're supposed to take care of it.
So what are you not taking care of in your Earth? This is a call once again. This is not these streams, these talks, this free that you're getting, because behind the closed doors is not free, is to call you to responsibility. I teach the gospel of responsibility. Believe me, this was only an introduction to what can be even talked even deeper, because we have 55. To deeper into understanding the solar system and how it relates to you and your positioning as being the sun man, and your positioning, woman, on how you being the what? Being the moon woman. So it's important. So she says, so simply, true of you you haven't passed the test. You're going to have to keep retaking it until you pass. And that's what happens is no one wants to, you have not passed a test, and you wondering why your solar system is not growing or working. It's because you have not passed the test. I want to say something about retrograde, but I haven't studied that in a while.
Yeah, I mean, those are seasons. I mean, that's literally a whole other call. And what you have to realize is that, a lot of people look at seasons as, the winter, the spring, the sun, the summer, and the fall, but there are actually 7 cycles throughout the earth which match the 7 chakras. And just by saying those few words, you almost need to dedicate an entire, teaching just on that, and it's not going to be 1 hour. So,
That's
we have to go into, literally the root chakra. We have to go into, all the influences that the seasons have on us and our connection to nature. There's another. See, even though we're making associations and connections to planets here, but we can show you your association to those planets based upon, explaining where the parts of your body are influenced to them. And if you understand that more, then you would have a deeper connection with your position in this universe, because it's all the same.
Look at somebody ask. I had to laugh because it's not at your question, because I'm laughing because I know some things. Greetings, brothers. Thank you for sharing this high science wisdom. Do zodiac signs have influence in this? If so, how should I dial into the frequency? I'm a Taurus.
Well, you have to understand the connection between the signs and what they were originally named from. The signs come from the stars that are in other solar systems and the positions that they face in that particular solar system as it relates to us. So when you look at those signs are actually, it's like play toys. Okay, they're toys where they move around in the heavenlies, and what happens is, as those signs move around in the heavenlies, their positions do have influence on you. That's why you get the 12 zodiac signs. But there's even more to that. And that's why I said you have to understand not only the zodiac, you have to understand the chakras, you have to understand light work and light path work. Because if you understand when how the sun's influence is in this particular solar system, as opposed to other solar systems, we're naming suns in other solar systems in the zodiac and their positions on us. That's how we actually create those maps and paths so they could make predictive sciences now. So, like I said, we can't do this in 3 minutes. There's no way.
No, we can't do that in 3 minutes. It will be, what happened is it will be a disservice to you, and it cannot, in all levels, be honest with you, cannot be free. I'll be honest with you. To talk on this level, it cannot be free, because we were ever to talk about the predictive science and how this all ties in you being a son and your positioning and when you were born and what time you were born and all of that. That will be something that you will have to pay for. And then you're wondering why you keep attracting the wrong sign to you, because you don't understand your positioning in the solar system for real.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be structured too. We can't just speak off the cuff on it. We have to have notes. We have to have bullet points, and it's just, we'll be all over the place. And like I said, it'll be a disservice to you to even explain it. But you are on the right path. Yes, these predictive sciences, like the zodiac, like astrology, and astronomy, which is basically, coinciding with each other. There's the science of it, and then there's the predictive science of it. And basically, these things do have influence on us. And if you tap into that influence, you will have a greater understanding. It doesn't make you a guru. It doesn't make you a prophet. It doesn't make you all these major titles. But you'll have a greater understanding of yourself. And the more you understand yourself, the more you can help someone else.
Very true. We're going to end on that note, because that's too much meat right there, and I don't want you to break your teeth on that one. This is Lawrence D. Adams. I got Jono here. You need to go back and listen to the replay. Whatever you need to do, tell your mama and them, to your cousin and them, go look at the replay. Go like this, because what we said, you didn't get the first time. I promise you, you did not get this. Somebody asked him about the third eye. I can't even get into the third eye. So you can't get into the third eye, because then we like I said, we'll do a disservice you if we even talked about it on the level that I know that Jono knows, and I know some things I know. So I will do a disservice to you, but you need to go back and listen to everything that's said. Go back. You don't have to look at it. Listen to it and say, now I understand something. If you go back and listen to it at least 2 times, it's just an hour long. You can do that while you're cooking or whatever you're doing, and listen to what's being said. It's going to click. Watch. 1, 2, 3, click inside of you. It's going to 3, 1, 2, 3, click inside of you. 1, 2, click inside of you. 1, it's going to click inside of you. When it clicks inside of you, you're going to realize that this is just the surface on what we're talking about. Thank you. This is solid. Appreciate that. This is a solid stream. Thank you so much. I feel like y'all didn't even rub the surface. No, we didn't even touch the surface. If we touched the surface on this, you were. It's like giving somebody some information and they can't handle it. They go into the streets and run nude. So we definitely did not touch the surface on this. And go back and listen to what's being said. You're not hearing this kind of teaching anywhere. Go back and listen to it. Go back and listen to that. I want you to go back and listen to it because it's so important. Anything else you want to say, Jono?
No, I think we wrapped it up pretty good. I mean, if you go back and listen to what we spoke about, it's going to basically give you the analogies you were looking for and some of the things that you already can relate to in life. So if you just make those analogies and then make those connections mentally, you'll have a starting point to get to the deeper parts of mind.
Yep. So let me see what he said. Enough food for thought and food to digest and apply. Yes. Thank you very much. So in closing with that, I'm at the hour 2 mark. You know, I'm a stickler on time. I must get ready to go. How that camera look? Look better today?
Yeah. I can see the light. The color's a little different. I can tell the window's open, but you probably close that tomorrow.
Yeah. You know what? It's the sun is outside. That's what it is.
Oh,
Yesterday
okay.
it was cloudy, so I gotta.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what it is. But yeah, it looks better. So you guys hit the Cash App at the PayPal. Thank you for coming through. Go back and re-listen to it. It is imperative. I dare you, challenge you to go back and listen to it. Thank you for coming through. And we are out. Peace.
Peace.